what better to do on this beautiful summer evening than to open a new egg that features this guy, who, if you guys haven't noticed, has been in the like the new artwork that flies by in the new PvP seasons. I knew we were going to get this guy. I don't know how he's going to play, because obviously I haven't played with him, but it does seem like Skyfall is a super duper cool move that doesn't have a use limit, which is kind of crazy. Speed Ravage is interesting. 130 seconds is a little fast for it to be like game changing. Swift Slash All is nice. Aggressive Entrance is kind of what turns me off, because I don't really like that move very much, and this guy doesn't really seem like he'd be a frontline monster. I don't know, maybe with high defense, but he's cool. And then we have the like shiny Charybdia. Charybdia, you don't want her to get to like 300 seconds. You don't want her to survive past like using the bind skill. Obsidia's like kind of the opposite, where you use Suffocate. Like, you don't want her to get to the first turn, but then once she's past her first turn, there isn't much she can do unless like monsters are coming in and she's able to get those turns. She's really hard to kill with that big defense buff from Suffocate Plus. But anyway, I'm just going to hatch down to 500 gems or until I get both the new monsters, and hopefully I can pull at least the new legendary, because I really, really want to play with this guy. I'm already thinking like you can use him with shock, electrocute, those type skills. Okay. Well, that was all epics on a featured banner. Okay, great. Love it. I guess maybe I could also hatch Static Sphere. I don't want Static Sphere, but I don't have him. Okay, here's 2 legendaries. So make one of them Ursadonis, and then I'll be happy. The other one, I don't really care. I already have +9 Goo Dragon. Okay, well, Volcaroth. I have a video coming out about him soon, if it's not already out. Please give me the new legendary at least. I really don't care about this mythic. She'd be cool to have. I actually don't even know what her second form has. I didn't even look yet. I just wanted to hop straight into hatching, but I really want the new legendary. So if you could just give him to me, please. No, that's not it. I was already saying I already have a +9 Goo Dragon. So that's already 2 of the featured legendaries. That isn't the new one. Let's see what else. Okay, good. Our luck is looking a little better since that all epics hatch. Hopefully this is the guy I'm looking for. Honestly, if I just get the legendary, we're going to call it good. I'm not going to hatch for the mythic. Okay, good. So with my luck, this is going to be Static Sphere, but please let it be Ursadonis. Yes! Okay. Huge. Great. That's super exciting. That's really exciting. Do I want to open more? Let me see. Honestly, not really. Maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 more just in case I get Static Sphere or the mythic, get lucky. But yeah, not looking good. This will be the last one right here. And you know, if I don't get anything else, I'm happy. Okay, mythic could be Obsidian. And then there we go. That's great. 2 monsters, 2 new monsters from a fresh release. Or I'd be looking for a Yukiana shard or Satomi, I guess. All right. So that's a little unfortunate to not get the featured mythic, but you know, that's going to do it. So I'm going to train these guys up, and I'm going to use them. And by these guys, I mean this guy, just the one. I'm going to figure out a way to incorporate him into a team. I'm thinking like, oh, I don't obviously have it here, but infinite, what's it called? Skyfall. I'm thinking there's a way to abuse that. And yeah, so look forward to a video from that. Just a short, quick, easy hatching video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. And if you thought the video was over, boy, are you mistaken. I can't think of the last time that I was able to do a monster feature video immediately after a hatching. But TBH, I'm on summer break right now, so I kind of have that time. Right off the bat, I just want to mention Ursadonis, high defense, super great. So the fact that Shock was able to take Garden Fairy Sunflower off of full health meant he didn't go to hold ground from that double confidence strike, which was huge. But yeah, so as I said in the hatching video, like the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that Skyfall gave Overwatch was like, what if I used him with Shock? So that's what this video is all about, is like, how does Infinite Skyfall really work? But when I was going for that, this match was literally like filmed, I don't know, 30 minutes after that last hatching video. That's now been, I think, 2 days ago, but this match was that night. And I was like, wow, this couldn't have been more perfect, getting a Garden Fairy Violet in this match, because like that is exactly the other thing that I wanted to test with him is how would Skyfall work with Garden Fairy Violet. And obviously I can't like set up my own match where I go against a Garden Fairy Violet, so I was just lucky enough to run into one. And as you can see there, like, I was just getting a lot of knockbacks, which is kind of how the rest of this video plays out. Just me using Ursadonis to use Skyfall over and over with Shock. And then the rest of the team, this isn't the team I was using for the rest of the video, but I was just pulling together like some Link Storm. I was using Aerialist because I do think Aerialist is super duper cool. And I've been like using her more and more since I got her. I wish I had her fully awakened. I think her awakened form is, you know, obviously there are stronger mythics out there, but I've actually never run into Aerialist in a PvP match since her release. I'm the only person I've ever seen use her. And I just think, you know, obviously with Awakened, she gets Hold Ground in addition to, like, better stats, all this stuff. But I only have her just, like, no bonus or whatever. Anyway, back to the matches. So, Ursadonis. I think after playing him, I think he plays better as sort of a cohesion monster rather than a standout monster. And I was using him as a standout monster in this video. He's interesting. Sashimi Slicer, you know, will have its targets. Orca, Sturgeonitis, those are kind of the big two that you'll run into. Speed Ravage will come up occasionally. It's not, if you think about it, not super effective in the front line because, like, it targets monsters that are faster than you, so those monsters are gonna get turns before you. Granted, he does have Hold Ground and super high defense as an Earth monster. That's something I discovered is he survives really well, especially like using him with Aerialist like I was doing. They're gonna be killing other monsters before they're killing Ursadonis, so monsters are gonna enter, he's gonna get healed up, etc. But Speed Ravage has its uses when it comes up, but if you're using him in the front line, chances are they'll be able to kill him, or, like, you know, the monsters will do their thing, and then it's fine if they die in the front line kind of deal. You'll see a good use for Speed Ravage in this team. This is the new team I upgraded with, thinking of, like, using Electrocute in tandem with the Aggressive Entrance. So Aggressive Entrance obviously is a reason not to use him in the front line. What else about him? Taunt, like, kind of the idea is you use Taunt and then you can use Skyfall. Enemies are going to hit you, you're not going to die. You get 2 or 3 knockbacks out of him. I was just experimenting because that's what I do with new monsters. Here, I'm like, what do I do? But I can Speed Ravage, Mave, Killer, he just gives up. What else does he have? Swift/All, I think, is a really cool skill. It could have its uses, especially paired with Aggressive Entrance. I was kind of thinking, like, with this team there, see, the Aggressive Entrance plus Electrocute puts most people to almost dead. With, as front lines are getting stronger and stronger with more health, more defense, it's going to become less and less effective. It already isn't that effective. Like, if this guy came out, I don't know, 3 years ago, he would have been game-changing back when, like, what's his name, Flocculosaurus, Bomboid were all the rage. People were just, like, destroying front lines with that combo. But anyway, they're, you know, just knocking people back and then using Shock to give him the turn back. Is there anything I haven't touched on with him? I don't think so. But like I was saying, he's more of a cohesion monster, because if you're using him in this way with Shock, then all you're doing is just knocking back enemy monsters repeatedly, pretty much every 40 seconds, 42 with Shock. And that means 2 monsters on your battlefield are being used for that. I was using Bastia to make sure that the new monsters coming in weren't causing serious threats. So that means you only have 1 monster to pretty much deal with 3. Now, depending on how spread out the enemy turns are, it could be like 1v2, like your single monster against their 2 monsters or whatever. But the knockback over and over and over isn't quite as effective as you would think. I'm thinking, like, you need XYZ or something to make sure that the new monsters coming in aren't getting turns fast enough, but then that's your whole team. XYZ, Bastia, Ursadonis, and the Shock. Whoever you have using Shock, Saber Dragon, either the shiny one or the regular one. So he doesn't really work that well. I think after using him in all these matches, I found that he's best as kind of a somebody you throw in there to get a kill or two, knock back a monster or two, and then maybe use slash all and then get rid of him, rather than using him as the focus. But I do think he was fun to play with, and is a super interesting monster. Skyfall is a skill we've never really seen before. So yeah, that's kind of my official Ursadonis review, I guess. I had a team earlier that wasn't working, where I used like Balancion, Demon Toad, Saber Dragon, and like Meatoid in the front line. So I would enrage Saber Dragon, then electrocute. So the electrocute killed the Balancion and the Demon Toad, and then I brought in Ursadonis. So the attack buffed electrocute and aggressive entrance would like kill the whole front line. Except electrocute, if you didn't know this, doesn't hit enemies in stealth, but hits your teammates in stealth. I tested it with camouflage and with regular stealth. It will always hit your teammates no matter what, unless they're like shielded, but it won't hit enemies in stealth, which I think is dumb and stupid, and it shouldn't be that way. Well, maybe. I don't know. Nobody uses electrocute enough, but the reason that wasn't working is because Saber Dragon is just too slow. And so I would need like Missile Torment or Meatoid on the field, but then people would kill Meatoid before Saber Dragon got a turn. It just wasn't working. But let's get back to the matches. So Speed Ravage, gonna piercing kill that Mantis Samurai. Here, this is something, just an interaction I'd never seen before. Swift cannibalized She-Na. I guess her revenge triggers off of any death, not just the enemies. So I didn't know that. But I went ahead and killed her there with Desperate Chomp to ignore that revenge. His Pandanorka is now useless because of the Zomboid. Nultron, I think, has already used his, Repulse. Skip, see if it does anything. Don't. I try to go around the Protector, got lucky. Ursadonis here, again, try to go around the Protector, luckily go around him and knock back the Kinesia Gun. Go for the Speed Ravage, go around again. I'm pushing my luck here. Bloodgrave Zomboid revives, so Orca still can't do anything. I'm pretty sure this Missile Torment's going to die because he's got revenge, which he goes for, and with the piercing it works out. Poseidon could give turn, I guess. He also has Vengeance charged, I think, right? Yes, because he was on the field before Breaker. But because of the poison, that's kind of what stops Ursadonis. Like, you sort of, if you're planning to do Infinite Skyfall, you need some sort of Purify because you can't use it if he's poisoned, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with because, well, I guess you can't Overwatch anybody that's poisoned, but, like, you could poison a monster that has Overwatch. I don't know. But just cleaning up here, kill the Breaker. Zomboid revives again. I think I go for the double Poison Eater on Moku and Nultron. No, and Zomboid, because I don't want to take the Nultron Revenge yet. Doesn't kill Moku because he's got the defense buff. Poseidon vengeances the Saber Dragon because he had the Blood Crave charged. Nultron already used his stun pulse. Time Strike doesn't quite kill the two poison monsters. He probably goes for Emoji Moha or a Gain 1 or something. Okay, kills off the Poseidon, which makes sense because he had Ogre Master coming in next, so he wouldn't have had the Solar Revenge. Accelerates Sting the Flarevern, so I can true hit the Moku, and hoping him to get a turn before Ogre Master, which he didn't, but luckily Speed Ravage run around the Kinesia Gun again. That's the second time I've hit Kinesia Gun around a Zomboid. And this one's pretty much over. Zomboid revives again, but doesn't really matter. We try to go around. He gives up. So there you have it. That is my Ursadonis hatching and PvP video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think he's super cool. This was a really fun video to make. And I will see you all in the next one.